Yes, thanks for staying with us. Plenty to get through, Poppy. Time to turn our attention to middle distance running, where one of the best South Australian young kids running, Sam Russell, has been good enough to come in. Sam, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you guys?
Very well, mate. Now, just quickly, you've had great success at 400 metres, some gold medals to talk about. 800 metres we're working in right now, heading towards 1500. The question is why?
Yeah, that's right.
400 metres, yeah. I question it myself sometimes, but I love the distance. I always have as a kid. I sort of started at Little Lass as a tiny tot and a junior, and discus, javelin, all of those events. I just wanted to throw them out the window and get right into the running.
Take us through the 400 then. As a young kid, was it obvious that you had speed and / strength?
Yeah, well, my this comes from my father actually. Was a marathon. He did a couple of marathons in sub 2.5 minutes, which is 2.5 hours. So it was quite a good distance runner, and he actually did a lot of 800s too, and he probably would have been a really good 800 metre runner if he'd sort of started a bit earlier.
Yeah.
So I guess that sort of came from him. And yeah, it was pretty evident that I was good over distance, but sort of the speed stuff came in later because I had a bit of a growth spurt mid high school, and then it was sort of like, wow, I've got a bit of speed that I can use here in a distance sense as well, because a lot of distance runners sort of lack that speed, and then they keep going higher in distances. So yeah, it was evident once I sort of started growing and becoming stronger, I could really mix it with 400s as well as 800s, but I always loved doing cross country and stuff like that as a kid, so yeah.
All right, the 800 is good for you right now, and you're trying to build your way into the 1500. Commonwealth Games 2 years away. We're talking off air about taking time off to qualify. How do you think you're progressing?
Very well at this stage. I think, without injuries, obviously they can set you back, and I've had a couple of setbacks with a few injuries, but what we sort of hone, me and my coach Simon, who I've been with my whole life as an elite runner, is sort of just gradually progressing. So I haven't really been full training for all my life. I've sort of gradually progressed a lot of the stuff that I do. So I'm gradually progressing the gym stuff and a lot of the longer running. So I think rather than burning somebody out of the sport as an athlete and sort of honing their life towards the sport and being able to sort of progress has really helped me. And I think that the gradual progressions of my times over the years has shown. And I think at the moment it's sort of really progressing at the moment as well.
I think the athlete's curse, I guess, in a lot of ways, is you get to a stage, you plateau for a while, and you wonder when the next progression is going to come. And it's a frustrating time. Your injuries, are they stress related? Are they tears?
A lot of it's sort of stress relating with the way I strike as well with the feet.
Because you find that when you're looking for that edge, you tend to do more, and that's when it comes.
Well, a lot of it is to do with smart training as well. A lot of people think that you just keep doing more. I got to keep doing more. I got to keep doing more Ks and stuff. But you just got to be smart about it. Regular physio, regular massage therapists, and just always being aware of your training regime rather than just smacking on Ks, because it can cause injuries. You can get a lot of stress-related injuries on your feet, get stress fractures and stuff like that, and it can be detrimental for sure.
It's funny. My son was a middle distance runner, and for a while then he became obsessive compulsive, all about the Ks, and obviously there was a lot of stress-related injuries in that. And I think just psychologically it starts to play on your mind as well. So at the moment, what are you running a 4 and 8 and say a 15 in?
So 400s is 48.49 seconds at the moment, which is moving for an 800 and a 1500 metre runner sense. So we're sort of trying to hone that because I've got a really good natural kick, and we're sort of honing that speed, because a lot of 1500 metre runners can run that one pace, but when it comes to the end of the race, if you've got that fitness and you're there with the pack with about 200 metres to go, it can be a really good asset for an athlete to be able to kick past everyone and have that strength. So I feel like we don't want to really let go of the 400s. We want to keep it there and keep that speed there, and sort of work up to 1500s, working up the Ks, because a lot of my career I haven't done a lot of mileage. I've slowly worked it up. So at the moment I'm doing the most mileage I've ever done in my life. So it's sort of, you know, we don't want to just burn that out and quickly go up and then lose that speed as well. So it's sort of a balancing act.
Yeah. You know what? If you look at that time, 48.64 for a 400, right?
Quick.
And sometimes
48.49.
48.49.
Don't sell me short.
48.49. And sometimes I used to work it out on a piece of paper. Okay, 48.49. All you have to do is that, not one lap in a row, do it 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And you're an Olympic medalist.
Yeah.
But it's not as easy as that to be thinking about a negative split over 800.
Negative splits.
What do you go through, say, in first 400 and 800?
Well, so at the moment, we really want to be going through in 52.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 51. Because a negative split, you know, whilst it's like, you know, I'll go through really slow, I'll be able to run that real second lap quick.
Yeah.
It's so much harder when you're actually doing it to make up that time. So negative splits are sort of a hard way to run.
There was an American that used to...
they're hard ways to run PVs. So it's really sort of having that base to go through in a quick time and then hold it and be able to kick on strong and then still hold that second lap. And that's when you see the quick times being run, I think, for me. So yeah, it's definitely looking at keeping that aerobic base over a winter period, honing that speed, and then and having that strength to run a quick time and go, you know what, that was quick, but I can go again. I can go again, and that's when you run the quick times.
Nationals are in April.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you tailor your training between now and April?
Yeah, I leave that a lot to Simon. Simon is a magician. I see in things like that. He always gets us going for the right events. But obviously at the moment, I want to just keep competing. So at the moment, I'm one who wants to keep competing. So really get that sort of race tactics and understanding of how to position myself.
Do you get it in SA? Do you get enough of it?
It's hard in SA, very hard in SA, because we actually have a really good group of runners at the moment down in SA, but a lot of them don't come out, and it's hard to sort of get that camaraderie and that tactics from racing. So I'll be going across to a lot of Vic State Champs and New South Wales events, just to sort of get that race tactics and knowledge of where to be in a race, and then leading up to nationals, it'll be a familiar process when I'm there with the big boys. I've run with them. I know how to get out of a problem if I'm boxed in and stuff like that. So it'll be very much sort of getting myself prepared for the race as well.
Well, if you need a pacer, Sam, Poppy's good for the first 2 or 3 metres. So
not even.
Appreciate you coming in, mate. We'll follow with interest. Hopefully,
I
think builds nicely to April. We need to get to a break. Sam Russell, our special guest, back in a moment.